Hello, one and all, and welcome to episode 44 of the Entertainers podcast, your one stop shop into the world of entertainment. From TV to films, from gaming to sport, we've got it all. I'm your host, Karl, this week, and joining me, we've got Antonio.
What's on, everybody?
And Pete.
What's up?
Yeah,
It's the last
Katie.
podcast, so if you missed the feminine aspect of it, well, I'll do. I'll hold up the feminine aspect.
Yeah, you can't see the video. We are all in dresses. Katie and Kyle can't be here this week. They do send their love, but it's just the three of us. Yeah, there's a song there somewhere. So what we've been up to then, chaps? Antonio, you've had a busy one by the sound of it.
Yeah. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm making a film, and there's a company backing me. So to make sure it's not dog shit, I've been trying to cast both crew and actors, and it's interesting. Like I've watched for years these casting crew interviews and stuff, and how difficult it is, and in some aspects it's difficult, and in some aspects it's very awkward because some actors, are there just to try, while some are there, to get more work, and you really have to adapt quite well. And like I've learned a lot about people skills from that hour I spent just casting people. But yeah, literally just more work on the fucking film. That's all my life's going to be for about 5 months. It's just, hi, I'm making this film called Polybius, and it's going to be on something which I can't mention yet due to contract reasons. As soon as I legally can say what the fuck I'm doing, everyone will know. Don't you worry.
Oh man,
But yeah,
just
film work, and well, yeah, exactly, yeah. I'll keep talking about it so that people can fucking. The thing is, because if it does well, I get more work. So I will be like saying, "Oh, have you got this device?" Which I can't say yet. I'll be like, "Can you use it, please?" Because yeah, I'm excited and also super anxious. But yes, making a film, cool. It's my life right now, and that's me.
super glamorous, mate. Compared to me, I've literally just been working and drinking beer and wine. Well, tonight it's wine. Just a busy few weeks. So I barely played anything. I've watched a couple of bits, but we'll come on to in a little bit. But pretty quiet for me. Pete, what about you, mate?
I've been busy with my house sale. It's been going nuts. The solicitors just do my head in. I've been chasing them back and forth, and
Oh no.
yeah, it's one of them. And I've finally got a date today after just sending a snotty email last night to the solicitor. I've just had enough. I just had an outburst, and it worked. So I didn't use the words fuck or bugger. I made it constructive, and I got a date today. So we're gonna move in on the 15th of February. Other stuff I've been up to. I caught the flu yesterday. It seems to be getting worse. So I'm just taking medication. Probably just before. Well, yeah, just before this podcast. So I'm all right now at the minute. So I might.
You're battling.
Yeah, I might drop off towards the end. I mean, I thought I was going to die after that technical issue that we had, but yeah. Apart from that, just work. I've played a few games.
Yeah, I've snuck a few in there, but mainly just one, which we'll get onto.
Yeah.
And I've seen a fair few films, but all right. So one thing I don't want to keep being a dick and plugging my own podcast, but I do a film podcast. So I want to only mention a couple, but I think I only pick the ones that I think will be good discussions from a non-filmmaker aspect. So yeah, okay. Just wanted to preface that from now on, because if we're going weekly, I have to do my content. But weekly, Antonio, what are you on about? Well, keep listening.
You
But if you don't listen to the entire show anyway, you're a fake fan. You're a fake fucking fan. I love you.
Little tease. I like it. Little tease.
Please follow us on Twitter. Please give us a review. I need validation.
To be fair, there's one of yours I'm interested in hearing about, mate, to be honest. I haven't chucked any news and stuff in there because we've got, enough to talk about, even though there's only three of us. So what have you been watching? Pete, do you want to dive in there first? You've got a couple there that's...
Antonio's first on the list. Go with Antonio. Come on, I've lined it up. It's all ready now.
I'm mixing it, man. Go on in, Antonio. Go for it, man.
All right, so I'll start with Dragon Ball Super Broly. So basically...
Yeah.
Little bit of backstory. I've watched Dragon Ball, the original show, like the 80s show, and bits and bobs of, the many anime there are. But over the past few months, Oscar season's coming, and I do, get about movies. So I've been seeing every Oscar film and basically a lot of serious films. And I mean, lots of character-based dramas, lots of romances, all that shit. So I needed a palate cleanser. And unfortunately, the My Hero Academia movie, which is, again, another Japanese shit, didn't do the job for me. So I went and saw Dragon Ball Super Broly, and literally, there's about half an hour of build up and an hour of fighting. It's just what I needed. It's just big, beefy men screaming and punching each other. It's just what I need. It's all I wanted. And I will give it this. It's some of the best animation I've seen in a very, very long time. You know, make that Japanese or traditional. So have any of you seen or played Dragon Ball Fighters?
Yes, yes.
Like seen the look of it?
No.
Quite a bit of the beta, and then yeah, I've played a fair bit here and there. So,
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I thought I was interrupting you. So that game is a 2.5D style fighting game, and it looks like the anime. And this film at times has a fair bit of CG because the fights are going to the core of the earth. They're in space, you know, at one point, you know, they're fighting in very anime style. And the CG, not gonna lie, looked like the video game. You always hear that phrase of, it looks like a video game. This shit looks like the fighting game of the same series. This shit, story, whatever. Broly was on another planet. There's some things called Saiyans. I don't want to explain Dragon Ball. If you know what it is, you care about Dragon Ball. It's just beefy men fighting and yelling. I absolutely love this film. Soundtrack was really good as well. Like, it was just epic orchestras. It's what I needed after seeing If Beale Street Could Talk, The Favourite, Vice. I needed to see something like this, you know? And it really, really helped. Like, it's
totally.
nothing incredible. Like, you know, it's not going to blow your world away. But I will say, I got an email recently. This is the third highest grossing anime film in cinemas ever at the moment. So there's currently a campaign in the fandom to make it number one. So if so, fuck yeah, it's what I wanted. When people say weird Japanese anime shit, this is what people imagine. And it's that to 11. Beefy men, screaming, punching, anime powers. I don't care. I don't even care that I don't really watch anime anymore. This is what I needed. A good palate cleanser. And to transition, so it is Oscar season, and I feel that I need to at least see as much as I can of the nominations. Because last year, I watched like 2 or 3 of every nomination. Like, I watched fuck all. So, I've made it my mission to see as many as I can with my Limitless card, and I got to see If Beale Street Could Talk a bit earlier, the Odeon Unseen. Do you know about that? The Odeon Unseen.
No.
No. Oh,
So
look,
literally-
is that their Limitless thing?
So Limitless is so if you don't know what Limitless is, it's basically a unlimited pass to the Odeon cinemas, and with that you can see a film once a month early. But even if you don't have that, you can go to an Odeon Unseen screening. So Odeon picks out a film which they think is going to be big, and you pay a $5, so the price is reduced, and you get a couple of clues beforehand on social media describing what it is. So normally it would be like the director did a thing here, but it's cryptic. And I don't give a fuck about that. I just go to Reddit. I checked the day before. Everyone in there is really fucking smart. They worked it out. If Beale Street Could Talk, me and my housemate and co-host of Gad About Movies, Jonas, said, let's go. Oh, this film is really boring. Oh my God. Oh, okay. So I'm a big fan of Simpsons Films, which is a Twitter account which just shares GIFs of films, and it says, you know, If Beale Street Could Talk 2018, it's just one GIF. And I couldn't find the one I wanted, but it's literally, to sum it up, it's just people staring into a camera. It's so boring. I heard some good shit about the soundtrack, and it's pretty good at times. But whatever. Let's explain the plot, because I do have to preface with this. I missed the first 5 minutes due to not eating all day, and I wanted to eat something. So if you think my review is invalid because I missed the beginning, sorry. So it's set in the 1970s, and there's a couple, they get together, and basically the man is wrongfully, at least we believe, accused of rape. So it is about the female side of the family trying to get him out of prison. But there is one thing I do hate in films is when something is given to you and there's no reason for it to be there. So either it doesn't get paid off on later, or it's there to fill time. And that's what this film really felt to me. So this is an hour and 59 minutes. This could have been an hour, and it could have the same impact. There is so much filler, so much holding shots. Dear God, stop staring in the camera. Ugh. This film, it's not bad. It's just really boring and plain for me. And I'm a 21-year-old white teenage boy. Well, now adult boy. I don't think I'm the right demographic for this. But then again, I'm not the main demographic for Glenn Ross, and I fucking love that film. So, this is just my opinion, and I think this film is not shit, but it's really not worthy of any Oscar, like at all. And I do not understand how it's doing so well on IMDb. Then again, if you go to the fan reviews, if you scroll down, then you start to get into more truth. What's the one that really Pace reminded me of? Oh god, that's a bad one. Yeah, I wanted to love it, but there you go. I wanted to like this, and oh yeah, perfect review here. One word: cut. Just cut more, please. I think isn't this nominated for like editing or something? I don't know, man. This film, I wouldn't recommend seeing this at all. Like, I'm sorry. Am I racist for saying that? I don't care. Because that's the thing. As soon as we walked out, we were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna shit on this film."
Oh dear.
And we're we're white adult boys, and like we were like thinking in our head, "I like Black Klansman. That should really win an Oscar." Like,
if the film's shit, it's you
Yeah.
can't beat around the bush. You've just got to say
exactly.
what it is.
But
So,
it's the internet.
well,
You can say something and you're sexist or racist. Like, let me look at the what is best soundtrack. This is Oscars. What it's nominated for? Best supporting role, Regina King. The scene she is in is laughable. And you know what's funny about this? Oh no, she's someone else. Never mind. She's still bad. There's a scene, right, which is very powerful, and I don't give a fuck about spoiling it. It's 15 minutes in, and it's basically the girl is pregnant. The main protagonist woman is pregnant, and the mother is Christian. She's like, you know, your baby is born of the devil, and the crowd were laughing, and so we were in a packed cinema. This is fully packed, and me and my housemate looked at each other and said, "This is supposed to be like a really powerful scene. Like, you know, the mother is condemning the birth of a child or grandson." And people were laughing in the audience. And I don't think that's the right effect. Best adapted screenplay? Fuck off.
It's probably not what they were going for, you reckon?
I mean, the best part of that scene was, I think, one of the male characters backhanding the woman. Because it added something to the scene. Because I counted. I checked my Fitbit watch 9 times in this film. Because after 30 minutes, I was done. This was so boring. And like, I like my slow films at times. Like, I'm about to watch Before Sunrise for the podcast recording tomorrow. And that's literally only 2 characters have names. It's just them on a train getting to know each other. From what I've heard, though, it's got good writing. And that's what counts in a character-based drama. Good writing and good performances. Performances, whatever, they're fine. The writing in this sucks dick. Best adapted screenplay, you can fuck right off. See? I only pick up the ones I can talk about. There you go.
Damn.
Never. I mean, so right now me and my housemate, we have a scale of if we would do something, and it's currently, would we watch this film again or do the thing we're currently in? The thing is, there's good potential in this film, but it just kind of just gets wasted. But yeah, if you want to hear more, get about movies. We'll go much more in depth, especially in terms of technical aspects, because this film needed some better editing. Let's just say that. Thank you. Sorry if that makes me racist.
It doesn't, mate. It's just
I like Black Klansman. Leave me alone.
It's just a bad movie at the end of the day. If it's bad, it's bad.
Well, it's not bad. It's just we enter with Oscar expectations, you know, and there's none. Fuck off. That's all I can say. No, thank you, and I'm sorry.
But then I don't think I know anyone who's liked, like when there's Oscar nominee time. I don't think I've met many people who like everything that's up for an Oscar. Do you know what I mean? So
Oh, definitely. But you know, there's always that expectations. We looked at Metacritic, IMDb, and it's ranking in the 7s to 8s, in high 8s in some cases. I mean, on the positive side of this is a preview screening, so I can actually warn people in the UK. I mean, again, if you watch the trailer and it interests you, go for it. But personally, no, I'd rather just, you know, I'm looking forward to Green Book. Let's just say that. And I think that has, no, is it Green Book? Oh God, IMDb is fucking messing up.
Yeah,
you do raise a good point,
yeah.
actually. You do raise actually a good point about the nominees. I mean, we'll go into it more again about movies, but a lot of the ones that are making the rounds, I don't really believe they should be there. But again, we'll discuss that more on the show. Thank you. Thank
I
you
look
for
forward to listening to that, mate.
Thank you for letting me rant.
Dude, it's what the show's for. I'm not going to rant, however, but I am going to carry on your anime journey that you just started on Dragon Ball Super Broly, because I've just been chucking Netflix on, and I used to love the old Godzilla movies. So
How old are we talking? How old are we talking? As in rubber suit Godzilla?
Rubber man in a suit.
Good shit.
you're talking the old stuff on VHS back in the day. So Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla versus Ebirah, Horror of the Deep, Son of Godzilla. All these. They were just terrible, terrible movies, but I absolutely loved them and grew up on them, watching them as a kid. So when I saw that there were Godzilla movies on Netflix, I was like, okay. And they were anime. They had a couple of them on there. So I thought I'd jump in there and watch them. Godzilla 1, it's called Part 1, which is a bit bizarre. And it basically, humanity has been chased off the planet Earth by Godzilla. He's a bit of a badass and just kind of like the stories about Godzilla change over the years. Sometimes he's like just fighting other monsters and he's kind of protecting the Earth, but begrudgingly, and humanity. Whereas other ones he's like, just out to cause trouble. And this is definitely one where he's out to cause trouble. So they kind of, the human race has been exiled, floating around the universe. They can't find another planet to settle on, and yeah, they're like, we need to get back to Earth. We need to go and take it to Godzilla. Let's. He's probably died by now. I think it's been something ridiculous, like 15,000 years on Earth or whatever. And so they go down, and see if they can sort it out. And yeah, Godzilla kicks major ass. And then Part 2, Godzilla 2, leads straight on from that. There is a third one, which I'll probably watch for next time we record. And basically they're trying to find these weapons that are hid in Mount Fuji. To try and give themselves an advantage on taking Godzilla on, and it's kind of a bit suspenseful with Godzilla tracking them. Them trying to get their acts together in time to take him on. I'd recommend them both. I think the animation's good. It's a solid anime. It's nothing too complicated. It's quite easy for a Western audience and stuff. It's just a monster movie. End of the day, but fun. And then number 2, the human race is obviously the people that were left there. There were some survivors, and have kind of devolved into a more tribal, primitive kind of social group. It's a little bit strange, but yeah, interesting. Definitely interesting. I think the last one, the Godzilla Part 3, I think that it's something about King Ghidorah, like the 3-headed Hydra monster, who's one of my favourites back in the day. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to jumping into that one.
Did you ever play any of the Godzilla games?
I did. I didn't play the most recent one, but I kind of wanted to. I think it's.
I haven't played that. It looked bad. I'm not gonna lie.
It looked bad, but it's like a $5. So
I have a weird recommendation. On the GameCube, I think in the Xbox as well. There's a Godzilla Brawler. It's literally just the monsters fighting, and you destroy a city. It's good shit. I really recommend it. I think it's quite cheap as well.
Yeah,
like Godzilla Battle of the Monsters or some shit. It's really fun. It's literally just a fighting game as Godzilla.
I think I did play that one, mate. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff. But yeah, and the only other thing I've really watched is also an anime, but it's a weird one. I think it's by people behind Hello Kitty. But I saw it on there the other day, and I was like, I had 15 minutes to kill, and I thought, what can I chuck on for 15 minutes? And it's a show called Agaretsuko.
Oh fuck yeah! This shit's awesome.
And I think it's fucking great. It's basically
the most relatable shit I've ever seen.
Oh, I'll tell you what, when you've worked for 20 years and you've gone through that cycle where people have put shit on you every day, and this show's brilliant. So it's this little red panda, and she's like, not middle aged, like in her 30s, I think, or early 30s, getting to that point. Like she's getting downtrodden at work, single, not quite. Doesn't think her life's going anywhere, and she blows off steam by basically going to sing death metal karaoke, and that's one of the things that attracted me to it. And I thought it just, like, from the little trailer, I thought this looks just unbelievably good. She gets like treated like crap at work. A boss is literally a chauvinistic pig, and she just gets dumped on and dumped on and dumped on, and it boils up and boils up, and then she just goes like and sings, and just the animation's brilliant. I think it's really cute, but it's quite cool as well, and it's quite
the
fun.
length helped as well, I feel.
Yes, small episodes, little chunks, because they are, it's a similar pattern every time. He goes on and she's basically, she puts up with shit for a few hours, and then it's like, right, karaoke time, and but it's fun to see her trying to make these relationships with like people who work above her, people who work around her, and she's like, how do I handle these different situations? And just like stuff like when when money's tight and your mate's getting married, you give them money for the wedding. You're like, I really don't want to do that. I want the money for myself. Just like, and each time she does the karaoke, there's like the lyrics are different and the lyrics are relevant to what she's just experienced, and it's funny. It's funny. If you like anime and you like heavy metal, if you like either of them, check it out, man. Because I think I'm 6 or 7 episodes in, and I'm gonna watch a lot.
Nice, man. Just for reference, there is a Christmas episode as well.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
they literally released it on Christmas, and Christmas was so dead for me. I watched it on Christmas, and it's good. I mean, it's a really good show. Do you watch it in English or Japanese? Out of curiosity.
I think it's in. Yeah, I've watched it with Japanese with subtitles. To be fair,
Because I mean, like death metal in English is, ooh, death metal in Japanese. I think it's super intimidating.
yeah.
Like, fucking terrified me the first time I heard her do death metal.
Yeah,
It's just
brilliant.
a really fucking good show. It's cute, but also depressing and relatable when it needs to be, but for the right reasons. And yeah, this one caught me by surprise. I've only seen a few like animated shows in 2018 from Japan, and fuck yeah, that one was one of the best I saw.
Oh, I'm glad, mate. I'm glad it's gets Antonio's seal of approval, because I was watching
The
it thinking,
former weeb approval.
yeah, I was thinking, I wonder what he'll think of this, because it's a bit bizarre, but yeah, I'm glad, mate. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, that's it for me. Pete, what have you, any anime you've been partial to?
No, stop. No,
Finally watched Naruto. Oh, you little devil. You.
No, I've watched this film called Escape Room. Have you...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is like that's 20. Hang on, was it 2017 or I think it was released? I'm not too sure. Anyway,
I'm not sure.
it's about a group of these. If you can imagine, the Made in Chelsea stars based in New York, and they're rich, successful, and they're having they go out for dinner, and the one couple. The couple whose birthday it is, or the guy whose birthday it is, his partner bought a surprise, and it was an escape room. So this limo ends up picking them up, taking them to this escape room, and they get blindfolded, or should I say, before they come out the truck, and they get walked to this escape room, and they wake up, and they've obviously got puzzles to solve, and it's a horror. You can imagine, shit goes wrong. And I'm not going to spoil it, to be honest, because obviously I'll be talking about the people who died or some of the traps that were there. But I mean, do you know what? I thought it was I thought it was put together well. I quite enjoyed it. And the one thing that I enjoyed about it as well, they'd obviously didn't have a big massive budget. There's no real famous actors and actresses in there, from what I can see. It's just maybe your up and comings. I'm not too sure. I've never seen them before, so it was quite nice to see not one lead actor they spent all the money on, and obviously all the focus is drawn in on them. It was well proportioned. I thought the puzzles, like I said, was good, and the deaths were good, and it was. I thought the end was a little bit disappointing, but obviously they had to leave it there for a second. And I think the second one's due for release this year, and I think it's got a couple of mainstream actors and actresses. I know one actress. She starred in. Is it True Blood, the vampire series? You ever seen that?
Show about vampires.
Have you ever
I know of its existence. Yes.
Yeah, there was about 10 seasons of that. She was one of the main lead characters in that. But anyway, I thought it was good for well, I would say it was a budget horror movie. They've obviously not going to spend any money on locations. It's all done in a warehouse. Obviously, the special effects is the money. So yeah, I thought it was good. To be fair, I don't know. Have you seen anything of it or?
So when you first mentioned this, I thought you meant Escape Room, the most recent film called Escape Room.
No, I think
so. Is it called The Escape Room?
I think Escape. I think it's The Escape Room.
Because there was Escape Room 2019, which is like what I first thought of. That's why I said but this is not what I thought it was.
Isn't it? Isn't that the second one?
You tell me. Like, I don't fucking know. This hasn't got any mention of a number on it.
Oh, strange. Okay.
I mean, then again, this is quite a hard thing to search because there's Escape Room 2019, Escape Room 2017, Escape Room 2017. This is tough. I think
it's The Escape Room 2017, and then you've got.
Well, I think I found it. Because I recognize the two actors from the trailer you're showing. 4.2 on IMDb, 2017. Okay, yeah, sorry, I found it now. God, there's a lot of fucking films just called Escape Room.
I know, yeah.
Well, these two here were released within the same month. Oh, for fuck's sake! Jesus Christ, people!
That's strange, but
You can tell no one cares about this this IMDb page because there's no capitalization in any name. There you go.
well, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good watch. If you're into your horror films, and it's not really gruesome, but it's got some decent deaths in there, and I wouldn't say it's too scary, but it's it is what it is. It's what it says on the tin. It's an escape room, and you obviously know that some people ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
So
it reminded me of Saw a little bit when I saw the trailer. I mean, is it as funny as Saw, or?
I like that you watch it for comedy as well.
I would say, yeah. I laugh through most horror movies. To be fair, I think they're brilliant.
Yeah,
so.
and me. But there's no big emphasis on the ringleader, the one who starts it all off, and Saw it really beelines for the puppet, doesn't it? And it's got got its brand, isn't it? That's its brand, that little puppet face, and
Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's it. And you don't get that in Escape Room. No, it's purely a complete mystery. You don't know who this person is. You don't know where it's all set at. It's a complete mystery. So, yeah. So that's that. And then the next thing I've been watching is Bird Box.
A Quiet Place for Eyes.
You ever seen it?
I've seen A Quiet Place, so I know the basic plot.
Okay, so it's Sandra.
Do enlighten me, please.
Sandra Bullock. Again, she always seems to star in these movies just lately. She seems to be a popular one, doesn't she? Like, was it the one in space? Was it Gravity?
Yeah,
she was with George Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah.
Yeah, she seems to be in a lot of these little movies that are just popping up, and they're a bit mysterious. But I enjoy Gravity as well. Anyway, but this is it's about this, I don't know, this force that decimates the entire population of where they are. I'm not too sure. It's the Force, yeah, not yeah. It's
man, it's the worst Star Wars offshoot ever. Well, actually, the worst Star Wars offshoot ever.
No, it's a mysterious force, not the Force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it causes havoc basically. For some reason, they look up out into the street, or looking out through a window, looking at fields, and all of a sudden they fill up with complete rage. All of the people do, and they end up killing each other or killing themselves. And I don't know. It doesn't really lay on much what they see. All it really shows is that it's complete terror. Their eyes start to bleed, and they start to bleed through every orifice, I think, through their body, and just die. So Sandra Bullock ends up getting caught up with a group of people in this house. They realise that not to look out the windows and keep themselves, completely covered up over their eyes, and they can't even watch CCTV. I don't want to spoil too much, but even through CCTV, digital image, they still got caught out, and they end up trying to escape this house and trying to find this safe haven that was broadcasted over the radio, and it's just the film basically about that journey and whether they're going to make it or not. And she's obviously got 2 children with her. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything about the children, but 2 children with her, and it does say later on in the film, I think, to make this journey, one of them's got to die, and it's a bit of a tough choice, but it's really good. I enjoyed it. I thought the ending was a bit crap. I had to Google it and just work out what the ending was all about. What other viewers' opinions was about the ending, and some professional views on it, and it still didn't really make that much sense, to be honest. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but overall the film itself, before the ending, I thought it was great. I liked the action. There was a lot of suspense there. And yeah, I don't mind Sandra Bullock. I think she's a good actress. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. I think she's good and stuff, man. To be fair, I
Yeah.
actually did watch a rom com with her in the other day, which is pretty good. So
Okay.
yeah, she's got some good acting chops.
So there we go. That's me.
Yeah, fab. Well, I think that covers it for TV and movies. Unless anyone's got anything else.
Not for me.
Cool. Okay, let's move on to video games. The news. A little bit of news. Phil Spencer has announced that E3 is going to be big after saying Microsoft aren't holding back. It quoted George W. Bush, an interesting choice, and said, "This is a year where it's not strategy. We're going to roll up our sleeves and show." I love that. Now it's big time. So E3 takes place between the 11th and 13th of June 2019. We know Sony aren't going to be there, and obviously Nintendo do their own thing anyway. So, what does this mean? Does this mean that they, it's all go for games?
Hopefully that's what it means. I hope it means.
Yeah,
because
I think there was some talk, wasn't there, that there wasn't going to really push hardware. It was all going to be built from what they're offering on Game Pass.
yeah.
It's
To me, 2018's E3 really felt like get ready for next year. We acquired developers. Game Pass is getting bigger. Something about the fucking cloud again.
Yeah.
I feel that this E3 for them will be show or fuck off basically in terms of was last year's build up worth it? Because I hope it's not a new console. Because to spoil later in the show, I bought a fucking One X. So if I go to June and there's a new console, I might slightly kick my damn Xbox and go, wasted money. Unless it's a cool trading deal, I don't know. But I don't think it'll be the next generation yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's any danger of them showing. I mean, that One X is it's so powerful anyway, really. I don't think there's any danger, but hopefully they can come, unopposed. If they can have a strong showing for games that are in development, and even if they're not coming out, Sony are guilty of this. They always come out and say, "Here's the games." They're coming out 2 years down the road. If they can do that with maybe one or two to hit in 2019 and a strong 2020, because I think that One X will be around for a couple of years.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I mean, I like it. Not to spoil later on, but I do like my One X. It's good shit. And it's powerful enough to fucking play some good shit.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. A bit of Pokemon Go news for Kyle.
I'll put that in there, especially for him, bless him.
Yeah, and I put the next one in, by the way. Just.
I mean, I think this is Pokemon Go as opposed to Let's Go Pikachu. Right. But I guess it's not a Kanto Pokemon, is it? So you couldn't put it into the Switch game. But legendary Pokemon Palkia, Water Dragon type, if memory serves me correctly. Big grey and purple thing is now in Pokemon Go, so go and try and catch him, Kyle, if you want to put this on your phone. I think Kyle does work outdoors. He must be tempted to catch a few Pokemon as he's going along.
Yeah, that'd be quite smart as well. Yeah, that's fair play. And finally, the next one for me, I put this in because we have some Nintendo fans out there, and I claimed my download code today. Piranha Plant, the surprise character, yes, a plant, is now available on Smash. I've given him a quick 5 minutes. I can tell that he is kind of annoying to play as, but when you meet someone who's good, they'll destroy you. I mean, people think Pac-Man is one of the worst characters to play as, and yet I destroy as him. So So if you're listening and you own the game, you need to redeem your gold coins for it. So if you don't know you could do that, if you own a Switch game, you can redeem some gold coins to get discounts on other games. So do that, and you can get Piranha Plant for free, or if not, you can pay for him. But really, I wouldn't pay for a damn plant. So redeem your code.
I think I have a code for this actually sitting around somewhere. So if anyone does want it and has got Smash and they didn't, I don't know. Did you have to pre-order or something, or?
It was if you bought it between the pre-order to I think in a couple of days, I believe. I think it's January 31st. I believe is the last day you can redeem your code coins and get him for free. He's available later on for to be paid, but I mean, I wouldn't have bought him. It was free. I'll take it.
It's not like there isn't enough characters in that bloody game as it is. I traded that thing in. I got rid of it because there's no way I'm going to be spending that much time on Smash. I suck at the game.
Yeah,
but I do it every time it comes out. I buy it, and I'm like, I'm going to play it this time, and I don't. So
I do regret getting the big fancy edition because I just wanted bloody games on my Switch. It's a dust collector, unless I want to play some Mario Kart. Because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is fucking amazing. Do not get me wrong.
But have you got
it's no Crash Team Racing, but it's a damn good racing game.
Xenoblade Chronicles?
I don't have the time.
Oh, dude.
A bit like Red Dead 2. Like, I need to fucking invest tons of time into that shit, and I just can't,
No, you
man.
don't. You don't.
No? You sure?
Nah, Red Dead.
How long was your first save file then, or your first playthrough?
I mean, Red Dead.
Let's go both. Yeah, why not? Fucking.
Yeah, I think I got it. I'm almost at the end of chapter 3, but I've stopped there. I don't think I'll go back. I've got to be honest. Maybe someday.
And Xenoblade?
Xenoblade, I've finished it on my New Game Plus.
How long did it take you to beat it? Just to
180 hours.
Jesus Christ!
But I did all the side quests, and I got as many of the blades as I could before I did. So,
I mean, I'll give it a shot one day because I own Xenoblade X on the Wii U, I believe it is. Yeah, I think it's Xenoblade X on the Wii U. So yeah, I'll give it a shot one day. But I don't know, it doesn't look interesting to me. But hey, I could be proven wrong. I was told Yakuza is just GTA in Japan for years, and then here we are now. So maybe I'll get to it one day. Don't you worry, because I need games for my fucking Switch.
True.
I mean, I bought Undertale recently because I've never played that and thought, I need something to play on this damn thing.
That's a good game.
It does look good. It does look good. I avoided it at the time because of the fan base and all that shit. So when I play it now, I can enter it with a nice, clean head.
Yeah, they're a weird bunch, to be fair.
Yeah, you think anime fans are weird. Undertale fans are a bit too hardcore.
Yeah.
If you're an Undertale fan, I love you, but if you are one of them fans, you are. If you're questioning, am I? You're not. I'm really just on defense this entire show, aren't I?
Offense is the best defense. So.
Burn up my shield.
Got some cracking games coming up for Games of Gold for February. Xbox One, you got Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, that's the Castlevania one, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. So before the not Castlevania game comes out, that was kickstarted. This is like an in between thing, which is just an 8-bit version, I think, something like that. It looks good. Not gonna lie, I'll give it a bash.
Yeah,
so I do like Castlevania.
And we've got Super Bomberman R, which it's Bomberman, and World Rally Championship 6. So all those, what we've got: Bloodstained, February the 1st to the 28th. Bomberman, February the 1st through March 15th. FIA World Rally Championship, January 16th through to February the 15th. And then a couple of interesting backwards compatible games on the 360.
Fucking yeah.
So Assassin's Creed Rogue, February the 1st to February 15th. And this one I'm super, super excited about. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, which is
that's the Xbox original game.
Fucking great game.
So hot off the press, a couple hours ago, the PS Plus games were announced. So shall I go through them as well?
Yeah, you can if you want, mate.
So PS4, we got For Honor and Hitman the first season. That's the 2016 Hitman. PS3, because they're still doing them, is Metal Gear Solid 4. Good game, but the cutscenes take way too long. And Dive Kick, fun for 5 minutes. And then PS4 and Vita cross-platform, Rogue Aces and Gunhouse. I don't know them, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dive Kick was one of them. I think I forget the developer. That was it. Zen.
Maybe yes.
Yeah, it was one of them that was like a rhythm game, wasn't it? It was just it wasn't brilliant.
Well, dive Kick is a one-button fighting game. You can jump and then you dive kick. That's the truth. It was fun for like 5 minutes. I got it for free. But there you go. Since we're doing the free games.
Yeah. I'm super excited for Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I had it on PC years ago, I'm sure. Well, it might have been the second one, but good game. So I'm looking forward to getting into that on the testing the power of our One X. And a little note as well, if you have, by the time the show comes out, this may not be relevant. If you've got an iPhone, disable FaceTime just to be sure, because there's a nasty bug going around where people can just ring you and listen to what you're doing. Apple have. They've not fixed it, but they've disabled the group call option on FaceTime, so it shouldn't be an issue, but you never know, so best be safe. Okay, so what have you been playing then? Antonio, I know one game you've been playing, because I watched you stream it. So what have you been up to?
Let's get the negative one out of the way.
Oh yeah, we can both talk about that.
Indeed. So yeah, you can use the stream footage I had, because you can visually see one of the issues I had. So Anthem is this big game that EA is pushing from BioWare, a developer that probably didn't want to make this game, but they're contractually obligated to. And I mean, the game is whatever, but this is a buggy mess right now. I mean, as the video you're going to see, I was zipping back and forth every 5 seconds. It wasn't like smooth for a second, but even then, when I got some smooth gameplay, the gunplay is just boring. There's nothing to it. I'll give them this, like the flying controls is nice. I got like used to the controls very fast and was doing some cool shit. But this is nothing special, man. Like, I'm sorry. This from the half an hour I played, this is nothing special, and I'm really scared. It's weird. If this does well, yay, Bioware gets to survive. But I don't know. This will do all right, to be honest with you. And I don't know. I wanted to like this, but it's a buggy mess right now. And you could argue, oh, it's only a demo, which is fair. But the base gameplay I got to play wasn't very good. So if you don't know what it is, from what I gathered, it's just a third-person shooter where you can fly and you do missions, and it feels like
Yeah.
another game as service game. And I steer clear of them, like Destiny, for example. I steer clear.
Yeah, but can you fly? I mean, how long could you fly for? Like 30
Uh,
seconds?
yeah, not long. I'll give you
And then
that.
it overheats. And mate, I'm with you. I downloaded the demo because I'd heard that you could get into it and play it, even if you hadn't purchased it already to play the demo early.
Mhm.
I found it ploddy, monotonously slow. Like just walking. I mean, I know they're trying to set the scene and stuff, but walking around and just sort of seem quite sluggish. I don't think they felt brilliant to control either. The suits, unless you were flying. Flying felt really good,
It did when it
but
worked for me.
but then
I get the clipping issue was maybe just a demo thing.
yeah.
But like I always say, if I play a bad demo, it's like going to a bad restaurant. You're not going to go back, are you? I'm not going to play this game again.
But this, I mean, judging that, to be fair to Bioware, they did come out and say, look, these are the issues we've had with the game. And we thought we could do X, Y, and Z, but it turns out we weren't expecting this, this, and this. And they've been honest about it. But the thing that worries me is that this game is out in what,
A
20
couple
odd
weeks, I
days?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is clearly not an early build of the game. This is the this is the build of the game that they're working on.
One thing
So,
I've learned this generation is so demos are a bygone thing,
mhm.
and I've read that the reason why is they normally reduce sales. So to go on to the Xbox One very quickly, I bought the One X because the Resident Evil 2 remake port on the Xbox One original is not very good. So it was weird. In like 2016, 17, we were getting some damn good console ports of like games such as Overwatch, Resident Evil 7, but I feel they're just kind of slowing down, especially on the Xbox One base. And that's why I jumped to the One X just for reference, even though I don't have a 4K TV, just because I want, Xbox is my main console, unless it's, a PlayStation game or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to get it eventually. But I mean, it's just surprising that this game didn't run too well, even on the One X. And I get it's a demo, but this kind of almost feels like Borderlands about the style, because it just feels like a game as service, and I don't like them. Games that constantly ask you to come back for new content. Free DLC is something, but saying, "Oh, this content isn't here; it'll be there soon," fuck that. I don't trust those games. Like,
Yeah.
Destiny was the warning sign for me, and I now know to steer clear from these games.
And the thing, I mean, I played a lot of Destiny and a lot of Destiny 2. And I think Destiny 2 is like on PC, it's a phenomenally looking game, good looking game, and it is on console as well. When I booted this up, I
Oh yeah,
played
I'm
it
not
on the
knocking the
One X.
graphics. It looks nice.
Well, I don't know. I didn't think it looked that good though. I've seen better.
I will say this: you look at the water. The water is just kind of like a white sheet.
Yeah,
You might see it on the video I've got here, but oh yeah, I mean, if you look up, it looks quite nice. Like, the background scenarios and shit looks nice, but I don't know.
I don't expect this to review. I'm thinking this will be reviewing in around about a 7 out of 10. I would guess. I mean, it just feels a bit dull. It's probably going to be great in a group with friends and whatever else, but I just, I had fun flying, and then I realised I couldn't fly for very long, and that kind of just, I was like, oh, okay. And maybe you can upgrade that stuff, maybe you can,
maybe
sort that out. But yeah, worried is
Yeah,
probably how I
definitely.
would say that.
I will say I've never been a fan of the it's fun with friends things. Like when I first played PUBG for the first time, I didn't personally enjoy it, and the main comment I got was it's fun with friends. Being attacked is fun with friends. Waiting for a bus is fun with friends because there's someone there to share the pain or share the fun if you like the shit. It's got to be fun on your own and with people, and this is just boring. I'm sorry. Like, look, on the video I start flying. I was like, oh, this feels all right. And later on when I was doing combat, I was gliding and flying in tandem, and it felt good. But I just was bored, and I went and played Resident Evil 2 after about 20 minutes. It's a shame
Yeah.
because we all saw the E3 reveal, and I literally just flew through the E3 reveal parts, and then I clipped back in because it's glitching like fuck.
Yeah, but on the E3 reveal, they were just flying for what seemed like they were just flying around for ages and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think it would have been good if they had a mechanic of you could cool down the overheat by discharging your weapon. Like it, if there was a balance between flying and firing, then it would have made that whole thing just seem a bit more like, okay, a bit tactical. Don't want to overeat, got to stop and pop off a few rounds and that. But also, then you got to get out of there because you're getting shot to shit. So it would have been nice if they thought about maybe doing something like a balancing thing with that. You could play with it. People could figure out quirks and that and stay airborne for a while. I mean, yeah, it is just a beta, whatever. But I'm certainly not. I had pre-ordered this and I cancelled it straight away after I played the beta. And then I'll see how it reviews. But I can see this being 20 quid after 6 weeks. So.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't know if you watched the gameplay, but I just trying to fly away and I kept being clipped back. So I kept being shot without wanting to be shot. Again, demo, I get that, but the gameplay itself wasn't that special. It didn't feel great to fire my gun or use my powers. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Because I don't want to be a bit too advantageous and whatever, but I feel the fate of BioWare is kind of on this game. Because, I mean, we've lost visceral games. I don't want to lose BioWare, man. Mass Effect's fucking great. I don't know, man. EA, fuck off. Fuck off. Stop killing companies I like.
Yeah, take your sports and do one.
Fucking right. They make enough money off those fucking games. I know people that still buy FIFA and Madden and all that, even though they hate the little intricacies about it. Hey. All right, can we pause it for a bit?
Yeah, do it.
So before the main event, I replayed Celeste. So I bought this when it came out on the Switch, and sorry, but playing a platformer with Switch controls wasn't very fun. Like the Joy-Cons, they do the job, but they're not great controls in my opinion. Like I was at a party on Sunday, I brought my Switch and we played Mario Kart 4-player. They worked for then. They worked then, great. But platformers, unless it's Mario, you can jog on. So this was a free game on Xbox, and just Celeste is so good, man. It looks lovely. It sounds great. The soundtrack's fantastic, and the platforming is. I mean, it's a pixel perfect platformer. It's tough, but it's a rewarding tough. It's Super Meat Boy style tough. You learn what you got to do. You died 50 times on a bit. You do what you need to do and go. Okay, I feel good now. It's a very short game as well. I think it took me 3.5 hours to play it, and that's with me being stuck a couple times.
I've got a quick question, Celeste question for you. I started playing this last week and just played an hour. Mm-hmm. But I started off, rather than trying to finish the levels, getting the little strawberries. Mm-hmm. Should I play through first and then come back to get those? Do they give you anything, or is it just a case of...
Strawberries is a kind of like, just look what I can do. So the collectibles that matter, there's B-sides. If you can find a B-side tape, that is an alternate version of that level, a hard version of that level.
Ooh.
Which is pretty cool. I haven't done them. I've only done the main game. And when you complete the game, there's another level. You go there and you need to find certain items which I hadn't seen yet. So that's the only main negative I have of this game is I felt the strawberry should have been the reward. The currency to get to that extra part, not these items which I hadn't seen yet. So that's the only negative I have for this game. Besides that, it's a phenomenal game, and I'm glad this was the game that, was the indie game of that year that broke and did very well. Because, it's fucking sick. It's an amazing game. Like I played half of it on the Switch and thought I want to play it in one sitting on my console. And I'm really surprised that Xbox gave this away for free. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right in terms of an Xbox free game. Because, normally they go for like the bigger, more flashier games. While Celeste is, it looks like a SNES game that, has got an upgrade. But don't let that turn you away. Like, I love this game. I think it's fantastic, man.
It is brilliant. And I agree. I think they should, because those strawberries are hard to get, even on the first, even when you're half an hour in. Some of them are quite difficult. So, if they were worth something, I would carry on getting them. But now you've told me that, I'm just going to play through and finish it.
Just play through and finish it, unless you feel like you can see one and go, let's give that a shot. Because it is rewarding sometimes to do the fit finally and grab the strawberry on the way out. That is rewarding. But if you see a cassette tape, just go for it, because you get an extra level from that. But this game oozes passion. Like, I know it's quite a small team. But, like, for example, one little bit I loved was I was in, I think, the hotel. I saw a PC. And if you enter at the PC, you play a 4-bit version of Celeste. I was like, oh, that's really cute. And this game is cute at times, but it also has a good underlying message of mental health. And I know it did quite big for that, because it's a story about kind of facing yourself. And, it's there. It does the job. If people were touched by the game, then more power to you. No problem with that. It didn't do much for me, but, hey, it was just nice to beat the game, because it's tough. and it's very rewarding when you get to the top of the mountain and yeah, get the ending. It's really nice. And there's a nice twist near the end that adds a new move to your arsenal, which just challenges you. Straight up just challenges you. Said, all right, the gloves are off. If you thought the gloves were not already off, it's game on now. It's very fun. Very, very fun game. But, you know, if you aren't one for like, if you get annoyed easy, you know, think Super Meat Boy. If you've heard of Super Meat Boy and you know the challenges in that, you may not like this. But give it a look. And if you have an Xbox, it's still free. So go for it. Now, the main event for me. So, I'm a big horror nuts in terms of video games. Like the PS2 era of games I loved because there were so many obscure horror games such as Siren, Rule of Rose, and so many more. And ever since we've kind of gone to the 360 generation onwards, AAA horror games have died. There's a couple that come out, they do okay, but it's mainly indies that have to pick up the slack. Like Outlast doing so well was big because it was just people liking a horror game for once, even if that was just the jump scare in your face horror. And then Capcom in 2015 unveiled Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it finally got official time and date on the E3 of 2018, I believe it was, in the PlayStation booth. And yeah, to make sure that I got the best experience possible, I bought a bloody Xbox One X to play this game. Everyone has a game that makes them jump. For me, it was this bloody game. This game is not perfect. I am going to preface it with this, but I think it's a phenomenal game. Controls well, the pacing is great. The only real negatives I have, which I won't go into too deep for spoiler reasons, is actually the story. Now, if you don't know Resident Evil 2, there's two characters, Leon and Claire, and they have their own A and B scenarios in Resident Evil 2. And basically, their shit impacts the other story. So say you leave a knife somewhere in Leon's story. When you play as Claire's story, you can go and find that knife. And unfortunately, that has been taken away in this. Yeah. And I'll give this to Capcom. I looked into the marketing. They don't market this at all. They don't market that, hey, there's two separate stories and they intertwine and shit. But, you know, as it's a Resident Evil 2 remake, I was kind of hoping it would bring it across. So when you finish one story, you get to what is known as a second run. Now, I'm nearing the end of the second run of the character I didn't pick, which is Claire. And from what I've been reading, it's just an abridged version of their story. But it's weird because whenever you're playing as one of the characters, the narrative purpose of the other character is they're useless. So, for example, when I played as Leon in his first story, Claire is seen 3 times tops, I think, not including the beginning. Like, you see her a couple times, cut to 4 hours later of game time, there she is at the end. And in Resident Evil 2 original, there's a lot of build-up, a lot of actual character development for those two. And unfortunately, that's missing now. But what's missing from that is not here, which is gameplay. Because, this game controls so good. This is so good. This game is so good. I want to get that negative out of the way. Because, I fucking love this game. This is amazing. It's been amazing to stream. I have a piece of paper here filled with notes of locations, save keys, and passwords from the mansion. Because I haven't checked any guides apart from the one time you had to help me, Karl. And I thank you for that.
Oh, welcome, mate.
And I would have got there eventually, but I'm glad you put me out of my misery. And
it was worth it for just hearing you going, I've made a mistake, oh God, and then
running away from it. If you want to hear me scream a couple times, because I have clips, this game gets me. Like, I like horror, but hey, I'm susceptible to a jump scare. But the thing is, there's only a couple times in the entire story where the jump scare is Capcom saying, all right, time to scare you. The other times me just walking around a corner and there's a zombie there. There's no, violin chime or something. It's just, he's there. And they're more natural to me. But one thing I'll give them with this, right? So there is one part where the tyrant in the Leon story breaks down a wall when you've got a key. And I think I wasted too much ammo or I died, so I reloaded my save. And I was like teasing what I thought was the activation point, but the tyrant never showed. So they have plans for multiple scenarios. A bit like if you failed a GTA mission, they'd have different dialogue. It's the same here, except it's with zombie placements. And what I do love, same with all other Resident Evil games, the zombies are a being. If you leave one in hour 1, if you run back in at hour 10, he's still there. And he's going to wait for you. And that's what I kind of love about this game, is that it feels like a living, breathing world inside of this Raccoon City Police Department. I mean, you leave it a couple of times, you do missions where you're not the main character, but you just fall in love with the mansion. You learn every little spot where something is. You learn all the intricacies. You learn tricks. Like, for example, in Claire's story, I know not to go into the bathroom because I brought 2 zombies in there and left them in there to save ammo. And that's what I do love about this game as well, is they give you multiple options to think on your feet and really be a survivalist. I fucking love this game. Should I have bought a new console for it? I don't know. I don't know. But I love this game, man. The only downside is really the story, because the story's fine, but it's the extras that the original game had, which this lacks, which is, intertwining stories. But then again, I haven't finished Claire's second story, and apparently I have to do another one to get the true ending. But to be fair to Capcom, there's 2 extra story modes still, which is the Tofu. Yes, you play as a Tofu. And Hunk, the 4th survivor. There's 3 DLC coming, which is about characters that are new to the story, which is pretty cool. So yeah, they're giving us extra shit. So, I started with a negative to get out of the way, but I love this game. Do not get me wrong. Oh, it just feels good to be playing a AAA survival horror game, and it be good. It just feels so good to say, man. I love this game so damn much. It looks amazing. The sound design's great. Oh, thank you, Capcom. Thank you. If Resident Evil 3 gets this treatment as well, I might burst. Oh,
Is that
I love that bad guy from number 3.
yeah,
Stars.
the Nemesis, man.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Is that what you want to see next, Antonio? Is that if you were Capcom now? Obviously,
Well,
the last release was great. This remake's great.
Honestly, what I'd like is a new Capcom horror IP. So Resident Evil 7 and 2 Remake have shown that, hey, third-person and first-person horror games can work in today's gaming generation. Because I don't know if you play many PS2 style horror games, so, Silent Hill and Rule of Rose and such. They're all third-person. They're like this, except much more clunkier. And I really do want them to try and be, do a new IP. Like, hey, if Resident Evil 3 Remake was announced tomorrow, I'd be like, fucking sick. But the problem is, where do you go after that? Do you make another Resident Evil 8? I don't know, because then the series gets a bit too, well, when you hear 8 next to something, you kind of go, Fast and Furious 8, they're still making those, huh? Resident Evil 7, they're still making those, huh? Like, even though I love Resident Evil, Resident Evil 7, really? 7th one, Jesus Christ. So,
yeah,
hopefully, this is what I'd like, a new IP. But then again, that's a big risk, especially now. But, if that's me being wishful, if this could happen, if this happened, Resident Evil 2 Remake, then fucking yes. Go on. Give me a new IP. Because this shows that horror is still doable, and people still care. Feels good to talk about positive once for a fucking horror game. I'm happy now. Thank you for that.
Damn.
Any questions about the game?
I just, for me, like when Pete's talked about it in the last couple of weeks and said, like, he doesn't really have any interest in it. It's a great game. Like, I finished it before and all the rest of it. And I'm kind of in the same boat. But what I have enjoyed is watching people play it. So, like, I've watched 2 or 3 people stream it, yourself included, and just enjoyed seeing it again. And just like, I can be doing something else and also watching that like a TV show. And I've enjoyed it for that, really. So it's definitely a game that when it's a bit cheaper, I might pick up if I'm feeling like I want to play through it. But I already feel like I've experienced it enough.
And that's perfectly fine. This is really just bringing it to a new generation. I mean, I played Resident Evil 2 in like 2012, I think. And that was me after hearing, all of my horror friends saying, oh, Resident Evil 2 is very good. You should play that. But this is, a new generation, a new control scheme. And it is a different experience because I'd say Resident Evil 2 original is more scary in terms of you controlling the character because you're much more limited, Like now I have, a good third-person control scheme. So, I can actually defend myself. But to be fair to them, zombies are bullet sponges, but not in a bad way. You get visual confirmation they're hurt, and also you can stun them, which gives you time to run. You can cripple them if you want to. So what I like to do is take out one of their knees, bring them into a room, and lock them in. Because zombies can break down doors, but zombies that are incapacitated cannot. So I've used that to my benefit. I will, like, the main negatives are people from me playing the first one, or, the first Resident Evil 2, and comparing. So, like I said, the story reasons, I know that it's kind of annoying that Claire and Leon both fight the Tyrant and Birkin, when in Resident Evil 2, they both got one each to kind of make them feel different, make the stories feel, separate. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be playing them both multiple times, both stories, like so 4 times in total to get every mode because you unlock extra game modes afterwards, such as the Mercenaries mode. Yes, please, and extras. And yeah, that's the thing. You can either play it, each story and be like, I'm done, or be like me and get everything and lock everything. But yeah, this game, it's just great. It looks great, controls well, sound design is great. It's just lovely to have a AAA horror game. And it looks so well, plays so well, and also do so well. And that's the key point here. I hope this continues. But again, Resident Evil 3 can come out, but what next? So hopefully Capcom is like, all right, all right, all right, let's up the ante. Let's make something new. Because again, Devil May Cry, what are they going to do after that? Onimusha has got a remake. But what do you do after that? Well, actually, they got a remaster, but still.
Yeah, remaster. But
which I do own, actually. True. So I like Onimusha.
I think if there's ever a time Capcom would be in a position to make the decision and say, right, okay, we're going to have a new horror IP, it's probably now's the time,
And
but we'll see.
I mean, the problem also with having lots of multiple numbers is it gets worse over time. Dead Rising 1, in my top 10 ever, skips Dead Rising 4, fuck that game with a giant flaming pole. So hopefully a new IP will change things up. Because, I mean, Resident Evil 6 and 5, they were fine, but, they're not Resident Evil 2 or 4. But I don't know. I just, it's nice to publicly talk about that for once. Because, apart from, like, say, old message boards, I've never really discussed Resident Evil 2 and such. Both games are great. I mean, it all depends on your experience. If you'd rather have more classical horror, with where you feel even more scared and more vulnerable, play the, fucking PS1 version if you want. Or the GameCube version, actually. But if you want a modern version, play this. Sorry. Thank you. Oh, no.
Where's he gone?
Yeah, Karl. If you can hear us, mate, we can't hear you.
There we go.
Welcome back, sir.
The hostess with the mostess died.
I know. I clicked on too many times. That's probably the red wine, but there we go. Yeah, great game. I haven't picked up anything new really. I've got Kingdom Hearts 3, but I haven't even put it in the machine yet. So I'll maybe next show talk a little bit about that. And I'm not sure if Katie's picked it up, but
I was actually going to ask that. Did Katie get it? Because I remember her playing it.
Yeah, I'd imagine she would have, because obviously she's a bit of a Kingdom Hearts fan. So hopefully we'll talk about that next show. But I've just been playing a bit of Black Ops, playing that Blackout mode. A bit more of that. The more I play of it, I get better in tiny bits on it. And I've had a couple of top 10 finishes, top 5 finishes. Came third in duos with my mate the other day. That game is the best. If you are going to play a battle royale game, it's the best version of a battle royale game by a country mile. It is. It is just typical Call of Duty, and the things you can do in there is quite fun. The map is nice and big, and it's nice and varied. You can find helicopters around and stuff, and jump in one of them. And the other day, this dude they ended up winning the game because basically they got a chopper, flew up in the air. The helicopter's got no guns, but they landed on like one of these massive windmills in a wind farm, and the dude just lay down and sniped from the top of the bloody windmill. And obviously no one can get him unless you've got a helicopter. And he just had the right position with the storm closing in, and cleaned up. It was you can try and pick him off, but it's pretty much impossible. But I think it gives you enough customization options and stuff. It feels like a proper shooter just with that mode in there. So a lot of fun. It is worth your time if you want to play a game like that and you don't mind buying it in the first place. So yeah, it's the first time I bought a Call of Duty game in a long time, and I am enjoying it, to be fair, when I'm playing. Other than that, just a bit of Rocket League, as usual. And now that's proper cross-platform with everybody. Everyone can play with everybody. That's quite nice. Although only in private matches from the last time I did have a look, but that's still good. You can set your room up, and people on PC, Xbox, PS4, Switch, whatever, can all jump in. So that's pretty nice. And I got the platinum on Cat Quest, which was a game I was playing last week or 2 weeks ago. Loved that little action RPG. Great game. Got cute kitties in it, obviously a plus. Fun little game. But that's about all I've been doing. Pete?
Well, I've had a little go of Detroit Become Human and finished it.
A little go.
Yeah, I did stream all of it. I think I streamed all of it. A couple of the do you know what it's streaming is hard, isn't it?
So yeah, you're new to it.
Can be.
So what is your like God honest new opinion of it? Because me and Karl have been doing it for a little bit. We're not big or anything, but we have something.
I enjoy it, but one is keeping tabs on the people that say hello. I think I've got to get used to that. I find that I get too engrossed in the game, and I just look at I look at my TV screen instead of looking at my computer screen now and again to check in, and then like I look back, and about an hour and a half ago, somebody's gone, "Hi, is this the first time you've ever played Detroit Become Human?" And I've just left them there, and I feel bad. I feel like I've messaged them after and gone, "I'm really sorry. I missed your message. So hi, yeah, it is the first time." And so I've got to. I feel bad if something like that happens. So hopefully we don't get millions of viewers, because I'd be really stuck then. I'd be feeling awful. But I've got to get used to it. Well, I'm at my mum and dad, so I've not really got like an official setup, so to speak. And once I'm moved in and we're all settled, I can get something. I can get a rig all set up then, and hopefully have something structured, and I'll be able to try and look at the chat as well as what's going on my screen at the same time. But until then, I've just got to put up with things, I suppose. But there has been a couple of people that have just dropped in and said hello and been really nice. It's a couple of complete strangers as well. They're not familiar with the podcast at all. They don't know us, so it was nice actually to have that. Have that little bit of support. And also, my kids was on one stream. I think it was over the weekend. We played. My voice is really going now. But I was playing Cuphead. Yeah, Cuphead for the first time. Yeah, it was Cuphead. I've never played Cuphead before.
Nice.
And I ended up playing it with my eldest son, Jimmy. And we was there for about 20 minutes. And then my youngest son come in, because I thought I'll try and have an hour with Jimmy. I don't get to spend that much time alone with him. So my youngest one come in. He was like, "What's this? What's this? What's this?" And like, that's all they do, isn't it? Until you answer him. Why is he doing that? Why is he shooting? This looks good. Can I have a go? And then it ends up with me sitting in between them, not doing anything. And the pair of them are just playing away at this game. And I'm like, well, this is my stream, and their kids have took over. But there was, Antonio jumped in, Lewis, Mark Annex, and it was good actually. I think some of them were laughing at the kids, and they seemed to have a good laugh. But I think I'll talk about Cuphead another time. I've not really played that much of it. But one thing, in fact, I'll talk about Detroit before I go into this other game. Detroit.
Yeah, you can't talk about Cuphead without Kyle, mate. It's that's the law, I think.
I know. Detroit. I streamed it all. Took about 11 hours, I think, altogether. I completed the game, and I don't think I've done my daughter proud at all. She'll be absolutely livid when she finds out what my end was, because it wasn't good. Some people have probably played this to death, and some people maybe not at all, but all my characters died.
Whoa.
Yeah, they all went. And I'm like, I must have really had a bad run at this. They all went. So I'm like, oh shit. But there's 40 endings, isn't there, to this game, and there's so many ways that you can play it. Some of the things, I felt like I took a gamble on. Like there was this airport scene, and you had to choose whether to fight, to sacrifice somebody, or just to risk yourself. And I ended up risking myself, and I just died. And it was just one of those things. But yeah, they all ended up going, and I really enjoyed the whole experience. I thought it was a good game. I think it's well put together. I love the audio. I absolutely love the audio when your camera pans in and out of first of all, it's like first person, then it pans out, and it shows you talking to somebody then, and the audio changes as soon as you make that switch in a camera angle, and I think that's wicked. And just all of the it just sounded some of the sounds like walking through water, touching things. Everything was just completely crystal clear and rich, and it was really, really good. But things that I didn't like about the game were the controls. I felt like I was playing a posh Resident Evil 2 with the controls and the manoeuvring the character. You're very slow. It's a shame that there's not a run button on it, just to run from one side of the street to the other. No, you've got to just slowly walk across the road, and you're thinking some of these missions are timed, and you're thinking, oh, I ain't got much time left, and I can't run, and it really does annoy you. Well, it annoyed me, but then again, I do like the pressure it puts you under, and I only played it on casual. I didn't play it on experienced, and I think even then it put you on that pressure point where you had to make your decisions quick. You felt like, or I certainly felt like, that I didn't have much time to complete my timed missions. But then, in actual fact, when you get to the end of them, you think, "Oh, I had a minute left or two, and I would have been fine." I think I was just getting anxious and panicking that I was just not going to make it. But so Detroit Become Human, it's just, yeah, it's a real good game. I'm glad I stuck it in that top 5 list. I got no regrets for that at all. I'm going to play it again, maybe with another family member, or I might play it over twice. See if I can get a better ending this time. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. So, one of my New Year's resolutions was to play completely different games that I've not either heard of, or they're a bit out of my comfort zone. And I picked up this game through Game Pass. It's called Hunter, Call of the Wild. Have you ever heard of it?
I had the name, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My buddy Dave plays a ton of this, and he's really, really enjoyed it. So,
How was it?
yeah, I've looked at picking up, but I've not played it yet, mate. What do you think?
If you've not played, well, let's talk about the game. It's an open world hunting style game. There's a lot of exploration, to an element, some RPG as well in the game, and one thing I will say is if you've not played Red Dead and you start playing this game, and you've not got much patience, you're gonna think this is just nuts. I probably spent 2 hours exploring the whole, half of the park, and I'd only killed one animal, and that was at the start when you're doing the tutorial, more or less. So to find things within your park is so difficult, because there's so many trails and you could be following them for ages. But I've played Red Dead, and hunting, you've got to take your time. You've got to look at the trails. You find you find the various clues that lead you to your animal, and there you go. You've shot it with a bow and arrow. You get your clean kill, and you can harvest the animal. But this is what I found with this game. There's a lot of exploration, and there's hardly any animals at all. To put it in perspective, there's probably, it feels like that there's maybe 5 times more animals in Red Dead than there is in this, and you go and it's a hunting game. So that was my drawback with it, that there wasn't enough animals within a map. I might be playing it wrong, and I need to probably spend a bit more time on it. But I found that there was hardly anything there. But the controls, all of the options you've got for weapons, and how you can add pointers to the map, and points of interest, and things where you go to these waypoints, points of view, and you could spot things like from that. And I think it's so well put together. It's pretty slick. It runs really smooth. I like the gameplay. I like the aesthetics. Everything. It's really cool, but I think it's a bit boring. That's my opinion, anyway.
I suppose, yeah, it's one of them that you got to put yourself in the mindset of someone who is hunting. I suppose you're going to have a period of time without anything actually happening. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But was this on Game Pass? Did you say, Pete?
Yeah, yeah. This
Okay.
is the golden thing, isn't it? About Game Pass, you can pick it up and you think, yeah, this is not for me. I haven't got the patience to do that. So just uninstall it and look for another one. So I might have another crack at this, and then I think I'll uninstall this pretty quickly and head for is it Sniper Elite 4, something like that. I think I'm going to play that next.
Okay.
Or Life is Strange, one or the other. But they're both games again that I'd never really buy. I'd go to a shop and buy at all. So that's one thing that I'm doing this year, and I think it'd be good for the show as well, just to stick a bit of variety. On my half anyway. It's not normally a common thing for me to just go, look into all these different games and play them and put time into the mods. I do like my AAA games, or I do like. I follow the trend. I tend not to get sidetracked and play these little quirky games, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Cool. Okay. Well, and with that, I think we'll have a brief sports section. I haven't got too much to talk about here, really, but Antonio, wrestling, anything there?
Yeah, I just want to mention something. So we dedicate a lot of time to our games and such, but only recently over the past year have I realized how much time you have to spend to just watch professional wrestling. So, for example, over this weekend, there was 2 events. There was NXT Takeover, which is basically a developmental version of WWE, and the Royal Rumble, which is my favorite show of the year. Because do you know about the Royal Rumble, the concept of it?
Oh yeah, I've watched loads of them over the years.
Yeah,
Mate.
and me.
So if you don't know, 30 people enter in. 2 people start, 90 seconds. Someone joins in. There's a men and women's one now, so double the fun. And the women's one this year was actually much better than the men's. But the thing is, NXT Takeover, I love it even more than just it being good because it's 2.5 hours. That's watching a long film, and they're 5 times a year. Cool, great wrestling from top to bottom, awesome stuff. The Royal Rumble, on the other hand, and all of the rest of the big shows, they're between 4 and 6 hours. And that's monthly. And also there's the weekly shows of Raw and SmackDown, which I just fucking skip now. I just read results because I don't have time for this. I'm learning. Time is limited. Ugh. But yeah, I finally managed to get through the shows that are on Saturday and Sunday by watching like half-an-hour intervals while doing shit. Because fuck me, these shows don't need to be this long. Royal Rumble, I think, including the pre-show, was 6 hours. Like fuck that shit. Actually, no, including the pre-show, it was 7 hours. I skipped the pre-show because it's pointless.
Was there an undercard or anything to that, Antonio? Were there other wrestling matches, or was it literally just a build up to the Rumble?
Yeah, there's always undercard matches. Like the pre-show is basically a free. So the pre-show is streamed on like YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, and it's just a couple matches on there, a fucking talk show panel. You can fuck off. But yeah, there's always undercard matches, and what I normally do now is I try and skip matches that I don't care about. But to be fair to them, like each match was somewhat interesting going into the show, but it's just so long. Like I can physically feel like when some of my favorite wrestlers come out to do a match against each other, and I'm like, I don't care. This show's too long. Cut this shit down, please. Because like the Royal Rumble, they're an hour at a time, and they're good because 30 people come out. There's tons of mini storylines and shit. I love them, but the matches around them, they just take. I don't know. Wrestling takes too long. That's why I just read reports now and stuff. It saves me so much time. I just wanted to fucking talk about that because I don't watch sports. That's the closest I've got. That's a fake sport. Yeah,
it counts, mate. It counts.
It counts in my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, nothing from me really, other than the Villa being the Villa, lost in the FA Cup quite dramatically. We've got thumped by Wigan away, 3-0. Both those fixtures 3-0, and then I think we stopped the rot a little bit. Drew 2-2 at home to Hull in a game. We're always going to get something from, but I think Hull were on a nice winning streak, and we just managed to beat Ipswich, who are the worst team in the Championship, 2-1 last Saturday. So we're hardly setting the world alight, but even through a period of bad results, we're still only 4 points, I think, away from the playoffs, and a lot of games to play. So, yeah, we'll crack on. We'll see. I don't think we bought anybody in really in the window so far. Tomorrow's the last day, so we'll see what happens. I think the important thing was keeping older players, which I think we have done. So, yeah, pretty uninspiring, pretty dull, which has been Villa for the past few years, really. So, what about Wolves? Are they any better?
Of course they are. That's why Karl's not on, because he's gutted that we're above him. We're above Watford. Yeah, they're too. Well, in fact, if they win this game, they might. I think they might be. They might either be just at level with us or just pip us. But there we go. Wolves are 7th in the table at the moment. We had a brilliant win over Leicester. It was a 4-3 win. Apparently, it's the best game that some people have ever seen of Wolves. It was the heavily goal game. And I missed every single minute of it, so I didn't get to see it. But the result's good. We had a surprising draw with Shrewsbury in the fourth round of the FA Cup. I thought we'd slay them, to be honest, but they held their own, and we're replaying them again next Tuesday. So I was gonna. Well, I've been invited to go for it, but it's just a bit too bloody cold at the minute, and I've got my house moving anyway. So. And yeah, we played West Ham last night and we won 3-0. So that was a good result. We've got Everton now this Saturday. Who knows? You never know. But again, we've got some easier games coming up, or there should be easier. We've got Bournemouth. I'm trying to think of the others. Leicester, Cardiff. We should really be winning those games. I think Newcastle was one of them, but.
This is why I like the Premier League though, because you kind of Wolves did so well. Like after that loss to Man City, which was a bit unlucky with red card and whatever.
Yeah.
The way that you beat Leicester 4-3 and then coming back against Shrewsbury, victory over West Ham.
Yeah, because that was
Jota's hat-trick was wicked.
Yeah.
Coming back into it, and I think when you're looking at that, like Bournemouth have beaten Chelsea 4-0 tonight, which beggars belief, and I think Leicester have got a draw at Anfield against Liverpool. Newcastle beat Man City last night. Everybody can raise the game in certain times. And the impressive thing about Wolves, and I know I tipped them to go down at the beginning of the season because I didn't think they'd score enough goals.
You did, I remember hearing that.
But I think as long as Jimenez stays fit, I think Jota's fit now. He's playing a bit more advanced. He's getting in the box more. They've got options. They've got plenty of options, and I think they're doing the clever thing of getting people in on loan.
Yeah.
And then are they a good fit? Do we want to buy them? And then you're paying 18 million quid for a player, but you know that he's the right fit. Yeah. And that's what I think. Yeah. They've got a really good model there, mate. So in your 7th place at the minute. Where are you? 35 points. You're 10 points behind Man United. But you've got to, if playing the teams around you, Everton, Watford, Bournemouth, Leicester, I think you've got to be fancying yourself against those teams now.
And we've got such a good manager. You've got to give it to him. I know he got sent off the other day for diving on.
I felt really sorry for him then, though.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to run all the way around the edge of the pitch when he was trying to be so nice about it.
Yeah, and then he just thought, fuck it. He got sent off, but he's such a good guy. I really do rate him, and I think he's a real big contributing factor to their success. I think he's great. So we're doing good.
Amen, mate. Amen. I like to see Midlands teams up there. So
yeah.
Right, and that's it for sport, I think. And on to the closing of the show. So, iTunes reviews, get off your butts, people. Review us on iTunes. Give us the love. Send in those speak pipes and emails. We may or may not have a couple, but we haven't really gone through them tonight. Obviously, we've got a bit of a reduced cast on the show. So, pop those in. Obviously, we'll read them out next time.
We have got an email, actually.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, I can go through that. But, iTunes. Do you know what? I didn't realise. I know it's biased, but I didn't realise I hadn't reviewed the Entertainerds. So I'll give it a massive 5-star. But if I give it a review and said that ginger one's just sexy, then everybody will just know it's me. So I'm just I'm gonna lay off that. But anybody else that's listening, fucking get on there and give us a review. Bastards.
It does help. pushes you up the metrics and all the rest of it. So it is useful.
Yeah.
Please do jump on and do that.
I checked the speak pipes. We got nothing. We have got. Should I read the email? Been as though. Do you know what makes me laugh with our show notes? It says email, Twitter, questions, and then it goes Twitter, emails, shout outs.
This is the wrong way around.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go for the email. Right, it's quite a long one. It's from Derek Sainz, so it's Diesel Saint, and he started it off with a little bit of sarcasm. Bless him. Hopefully, my voice shouldn't be too bad. I do apologise for my sniffling and coughing. Right, so it says, "Hello, Entertainerds. I thought I'd give you a rest from my voice and send my first successful in brackets with a question mark. You shit. Email to the show. I intend to send this email to the veteran gamers boss wave, but will be sending an exclusive Entertainer speak pipe after that. Please contain your excitement. It's too late. I've already messed. After hearing Katie and Antonio talk about changing jobs and starting a new job, on the last show I found myself thinking about jobs when I had a dental appointment earlier this week. I had to make a visit to my dentist to get some minor work done on a loose filling, which was all very painless apart from paying the final bill. Yeah, they are expensive at the dentist. There was a delay of about 25 minutes before I got to see the dentist, and I was struck by the fact that in all the years I've been going to the dentist and doctors, I have never seen a male dental or doctor's assistant or male dental or doctor's receptionist. I guess when you hear the word secretary, most people would automatically think of a woman. I then got to think about jobs which, for one reason or another, were still considered the preserve of men or women. If you want to make a video game comparison, I think it's fair to say that until the likes of Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider or Samus Aran in Metroid, mainstream human video games heroes were nearly always male. So, have any of you know, or ever thought of applying for a job that considered traditionally one done by the opposite sex? Or have they already had such a job?
Not me personally, but to be fair, I am going into quite a male-dominated business, which is film and TV and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know any jobs that I haven't done any that are gender-specific in that term. Like I haven't been, let's say, a nurse or something, which you normally assume is a woman. Not me personally, no. But then again, I don't have enough life experience to really tell you that.
Karl?
No, not really. There's always the option of being an escort, I suppose. But
have you been one?
No, I vehemently deny that rumor. It's a bit of a weird thing. Like there are certain jobs that apply to you think off the top of it, like okay, yeah, women or men like fit into those roles really. And we are getting away from that a little bit, but it's still need some work. Just to level that playing field out. It's a little bit different for me. I've always worked in a situation where my work environment is bang on equal, men and women. Up to a certain pay grade before you get to people earning stupid money in banking. Generally it's a fair playing field for people. So I've never really experienced that myself in the workplace. But I can't say there's anything I'd want to do that was earmarked or traditionally thought of as being a female job. Really, it's anyone can do what they want as far as I'm concerned. I don't really give a monkeys. And I think I have seen. It's been a long time since I've been to the dentist because it's one of my biggest fears. I'm scared of two things in the world, right? And I've revealed this on this show. The dentist is one of them. The last time I went to the dentist, I want to look after my teeth. The last time I went was about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Because I'm shit scared. The other thing is mascots. Do not like mascots in any way, shape, or form.
What? It's a game.
Yeah, I don't. You don't know who's inside it.
So, like for example, going off from that Disney World characters, people dressed as Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, when I do go to like Universal and shit, and I meet Homer Simpson, there is the disconnect of I know there's someone under there.
Yeah, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah, no, that is fair. That is fair. To be fair, yeah, no, that is fair enough. Fair enough, actually. Yeah.
It bugs me. And I've been to Disney in Florida and stuff, and I'm I've got bloody the girl I was with back in the days. God knows what asked her to marry me. Crazy. So going back, when I was 21, 22, so you're talking 19 years ago, and we ended up having like breakfast with Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and shit, right?
Oh,
So
carrot breakfast, yeah.
yeah, this is one of the worst things I could ever possibly imagine. So I'm sat around this table and I'm trying to just I just want to eat my breakfast and get out of here because this is not me. And I've got Tigger next to me, like trying to jump around and laugh and joke. And I'm like, don't touch me, dude, because I don't know, I've no idea who's inside that outfit. So, and then they're trying to do funny stuff, and I'm just ignoring them. And then Tigger's like picking the girlfriend up at the time, like as if to run away. And I'm like, dude, just take her, it's fine. Just yeah, mascots and the dentist, yeah. What about you two? Anything that you're really, that freaks you out?
I have to have a quick think about that. Yeah.
Well, I'll answer Derek's question first. I know of a female trucker.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Go.
You don't see many truckers that are female, do you? So
you do not.
Yeah. And I wouldn't fight her. So the things I'm scared of.
Scare me.
There's 3 things. Hang on.
All right, I got one definitely, and that is like the sea. So if you look up the sky, you can see what's there. Look in the sea. I have no idea what's down there. And when I went on a cruise in 2012, that was me trying to conquer that.
Oh,
and
wow.
I did somewhat, but it, like for example, I don't fucking but say someone said, "Do you want to go deep sea fishing?" I'd say, "No, fuck you." So yeah, the sea, because fuck that. Drowning is my worst fear, definitely. Definitely drowning. So if someone wants to come up to eject me and throw water on me, that won't be funny. I'll just kick you.
3 things that I'm scared of. Wasps. Fuck.
Oh, fucking evil.
They are bastards.
Wasps.
Fucking evil.
Hate them. My mum when she's in a bad mood. And dying. I don't want to die, man. I am scared to shit of dying. Yeah. That really does worry me. So, even some people say, even Shell says, it's like, nah, it's just a part of life. I'm like, nah, I don't want that to be part of my life. I don't want to. But I'm not going to bring down the tone. But that's what, it's one thing
that never hits me until I'm lying in bed at 4 a.m. I wake up for a pee, go back down and realize that and go, I can get to sleep now.
Yeah.
I will say this, going back to the gender thing, when I did my casting and crew thing today, I had a lot of people come up to me who are women. For example, she wants to be an assistant editor, but I might give her the main role because she seems good. Is a woman, for example, and she said, I used to get mocked for being an editor. It's like, fucking come on then. You can join me. I'm more than happy. My producer is a woman. So I'm not trying to be that guy who's like, actually, I do have 2 women in a group of 20 males. But I don't bother me. You could be I worked with male nurses because I was a cleaner in hospital for years. Gender doesn't really bother me in terms of your job. Fucking, if you can do the job well, that's all I care about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're great leaders. Got to give them that.
Yeah.
I think we ought to open that questionnaire. So I'll put it on Twitter to the rest of our listeners. The 3 things that, if they can list 3, that they're scared of, and we'll reel them off next week.
That could be good fun.
It's not game orientated, I know, but it's a little bit of fun.
Yeah, a little bit of fun.
I would just say, Pete, you're just talking about fear of dying, and that's only, and I won't bring the show down, but it only hit me a period of time when I had Luke, and he was tiny, until the point where I thought he's actually going to remember who I am. I had a fear in that period of time of something happening to me and him not realising who his dad was, and not knowing what I looked like, what it sounded like, having no memories. But now he's almost 12. It's good, man.
Yeah, Leo's still at that age. He's 6, so he could still easily forget things if he's not reminded of me if something happened. But yeah, it does. It crosses your mind. It's awful, but it's definitely one thing I'm scared of.
I did think of something else actually. So I'm currently in my final year of uni, and I've luckily got this little job thing. But I have a fucking fear of what I'm gonna do afterwards. Because unless you're say you're doing a doctor or something that's specific, you just gotta go out there and find it. And I'm fucking. That is definitely a fear of mine. Because come June, let's say, I'm technically homeless, so I have no idea what I'm gonna be doing. But that's, something I'm working on right now. So, yeah. But that is a fear of mine. That and the fear that I just wasted 3 years of my life and 40 grand. Because, I'm at university. And university is one of the biggest gambles I could do, really,
Mm.
because it's not as needed nowadays as it was, let's say, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
It's a lottery.
It is. Yeah.
If you fail at preparing though, you're just gonna prepare to fail. You've just got to get out there and look early. You've got to put yourself out there, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Well, if not, then donations will be available. PayPal.me/I am homeless.
Or in actual fact, he will be selling. He will be an escort.
Hey man, that is a business. I've seen the underbelly of where I live, and yeah, there are male escorts. Gender equality is coming out there.
Yeah.
Totally.
So Derek Sains has finished the email by saying, "Bye for now, and make sure you keep the show minty fresh." So I'm hoping that we've done that for you.
We're talking about sad things.
Yeah. No, we're
keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you though for the email, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love regular contributors. It's great stuff.
Thank you.
There was, I think there was, as well as the email, I think there was something else discussed on Twitter. Was there, Pete? Last couple of weeks.
Are you on about our vote?
I am.
Oh,
fuck.
All right.
I alluded to this earlier.
So we got two things to announce, I suppose. I'll mention this one then, being as though I probably boycotted it the most and got my brother to share it and fucking everybody else, and even Mark Annex's dogs voted, I think. So we've put a vote out there on Twitter and
Find the vote now.
give you the option to either vote for a weekly or a bi-weekly show, and
Bi-monthly it would be.
Bi-weekly
Twice a week.
Sorry, every 2 weeks, every other week, weekly or every other week.
I'm doing it so commenters don't. Trust me, I've been on the internet for a long time. I do it because I love you. And it was close. The vote was really close. The final result was 52% wanted weekly or 48 wanted fortnightly. And that was from 63 people. I did not vote because I wanted it to be like, people actually saying what they wanted. But that's close. That's fucking close. That is close. But yeah, weekly. So I guess one of the downsides to it is we might not be a full cast every time. Today being an example. But hey, weekly content. Hope you flipping enjoy it.
Yeah, I think
especially with the next mention, I have even less time now.
This is good. This is exciting. I think it's going to involve people that listen to the show.
You want my fear? It's the next thing we have to do.
I love it.
What is that next thing, please?
Okay. So now that we're weekly, we thought let's make something regular that we've got for content that we can all talk about. So starting next week, we're going to have a new show segment, and it's the Entertainerds 250 movie challenge. So basically, we've got 250 movies, and these are classified by IMDb as being the top 250 movies according to them at the moment. So we've snapshotted that. We've got it in a spreadsheet. We've got a random number generator. And what we're going to do is choose one at random on the show each week. We'll all go away and watch it. Or if it's a film that we've watched a million times, then we know what we think about it, etc. And then we'll come back. We'll talk about it on the next show. So this is the first time we're going to do this. We've got the films loaded on. Shall I do the honours, chaps? Shall I click the button and see what next week's
so is this
show
an
will
example or for next episode?
No, this is it.
This is it.
Okay.
We're going live.
IMDb list now.
This is what we're going to do doing on the next episode. Okay, so
You sent the spreadsheet, didn't you? So I'll just check that.
I did indeed. I sent it. So
I'll check.
I'm going to enable the random number generator now, and it is film number 118, which is
1-8.
one I have not seen. It's called Rashomon.
Rashomon.
1950.
Whoa!
Fucking hey, lad.
So we've got a challenge now. We've got to find out a way of watching it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. All right. So before we even start this, piracy might happen, but only because we have no other bloody choice but to. So shall I give what this film is?
Go for it.
Also known as a description. So Rashomon 1950 has currently got 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb with 130,000 plus votes.
Wow.
The rape of a bride and the murder of her samurai husband are recalled from the perspective of a bandit, the bride, the samurai's ghost, and a woodcutter. Directed by Akira Kurosawa.
Yes, it's a Japanese movie. Sick.
Nice.
Oh, but if it's animated though.
Animated in 1950.
Yeah, I know, but as an example, if we get an anime, so Spirited Away is on here, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna complain when we get that, or you're gonna be like, okay, cool.
Oh, I love it. That's a great movie.
Never seen it.
That's the thing. Didn't we do a count of how many we've seen? And
that was the top 100. We didn't go through the 250.
I'm sorry. So I think I've seen a fair more here, definitely. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared, and like as soon as one of the Lord of the Rings comes up, you can fuck off. I'm not going through that pain again. Not a chance. I'll give my reasons. That's the thing as well. What should we do with people that aren't here? What should we do?
I think we say if people aren't here, then they can put some comments in the show notes. We can discuss it.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we did mention that they've got to write a little bit of a blurb, but we're opening it up to the listeners as well. So if you've got anything that you want to say about these films, if you want to join in on our 250 movie challenge and tune in every week and see what movie we pick out, then please do join us. And if you've got a little review, you want to send it in on email, or you want to send it via Twitter on message or whatever. Yeah, we'll include you in that run. And another thought I had as well, maybe we could, if we are scarce of people, we could probably have a phone in through Skype. Somebody could get.
I like that. Yeah, I like.
Somebody
that.
could just drop in and just have
I do like that idea.
Have a 5-minute shot at fame. Come on, Entertainerds.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a shame, more like
pushing.
Yeah. Pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So
really good idea.
I mean, the initial idea was all down to Karl. So big props to you, and I think you're gonna give us a bit of a intro to it as well when we're all set up with sounds and stuff, aren't we? So that's exciting as well. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it could be fun. And I think that's the thing, people out there, have a look. And it may well be that you don't need to watch this film. You might have seen it. It might be one of your favourite movies. Get in contact, drop us a line, and we'll share, your thoughts as well. So it isn't going to be easy. There's going to be, it might sound simple. It's a movie a week, but when you've already got a ton of stuff to do, it could be a bit of a challenge. But
I'll say this much. So I'm recording Gathering About Movies on the 1st, and we have to watch a film each month for it, and I haven't seen it yet. So I have to do this monthly and weekly. So I might try and squeeze one in and the same, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe for time. I don't know. We'll see. Listen to Go Out Movies. I'm homeless.
This is for your education, mate. It's all good. Oh, okay. And with that,
to be fair, at least it's an interesting one to start with because I've heard of this director and like he wrote Seven Samurai and stuff, so I'm curious.
Yeah. And, Seven Samurai is a great movie. One I've seen a few times, but I've not seen this, so.
Neither have I. And I doubt Kyle and Katie have as well.
I guarantee Karl hasn't.
Yeah. What way to start with a fucking 60-plus-year-old Japanese film? That's ways to get clicks, people. 60-year-old films. Unless it's fucking Hitchcock, no one gives a shit. I'm looking forward to it, though. This will be scary, but yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Indeed. Okay, on to shout-outs. Antonio,
I just want to thank Lewis. Lewis, he always gets in touch with like, the VGs and stuff, and since I started doing Resident Evil 2 streams, he's been, I think, in every single one, at least at some point. I just want to say thank you. And I called him here a stream creep because he was like, I'm sorry, am I being a creep by like meshing and coming in so much? I was like, that's literally the point of Twitch. People want retention. So, yeah, cheers, mate. And also, I want to shout out Talking Simpsons because, okay, I'm a big Simpsons guy, okay? Like, we're talking seasons 1 to like 14. I've seen every episode multiple times. And they literally spend an hour and a half per episode, beat by beat almost, talking about the episode in question. And I just listened to the Principal and the Pauper episode. Do love that show. If you like your Simpsons or want to relive the memories of the Simpsons, give this podcast a little look. It's one of them podcasts that has gotten quite big though. Like I checked their Patreon, they're doing fine. And then I think they have a bunch of spin-offs as well, but I only care for the Simpsons one. But yeah, Talking Simpsons, good shit.
Nice. I've only got one. I just want to quickly shout out Jason for sharing his audio novel.
Yeah, I've
Peter.
downloaded this. Yeah,
I've got that downloaded. I wanted to try and do it while I'm doing some work or something.
I've got.
Yeah, I'm about 6 episodes into it.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, it's. I tell you what, he's one of them guys who, like, he contributes to so many shows and stuff, and he's got such an energetic personality, and I'm really enjoying listening to this. So I don't think you can actually download it anymore, but he put it on the Ped and Mella podcast feed, and I just downloaded the 16 episodes. I was like, great, gonna crack on.
He's read the draft idea page I have for my film because I wanted his input. Because, like you said, energetic and he's got some great ideas.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I am looking forward to listening to it. I'll download each episode, ready to go. Just need to find a good time to really ingest it. I'll probably do it when I'm next in the library.
I love the intro when he said that he had to sack all the voiceovers, like the voice actors. Oh man, I'll tell you what, that guy has got some personality. I think I love him. I think he's put so much time into that, and I love the soundtrack as well. It almost reminds me of Stranger Things, and I don't know whether it is anything off that. But I don't know. It's that intro music does remind me of Stranger Things. I think it's cool. So he's done a good job, man. I'm on chapter 2, so fair play to.
Shout out to Katie and also Grivatronis in the chat as well. Big up yourselves. And that's our Katie as well. Just by shout out.
Cool. And my shout out goes out to everyone that voted weekly. Whoop whoop. So that thanks. I wanted to go weekly, and some had their reservations, but we've
crazy man, you.
We've got it. We've
Carl,
got.
What did you want, Carl? Out of question. What did you want?
I mean, this show is easy and fun, man. We dial in, we have a good laugh, and we do preparation and stuff, but it's quite nice to have a little. I like a bit of homework. You know what I mean? So I don't mind going weekly and doing this. And you know what? If we've got five strong hosts, and if we can't, you can't be on for any reason, I think we're good enough to manage that. So I'm happy with weekly. I'm happy with 2 weekly. It really doesn't matter to me, mate. I'm good.
Well,
I would have voted bi-monthly.
We've got this show. We've got this show to an hour and 50 minutes just with 3 of us. So
we have as well.
So we can.
Sorry, Karl.
We can easily do this weekly. So my other shout out is to my old man. He turned 75 recently. We had a good night. He got absolutely smashed, and I wish at that age I could drink like he can. So yeah, I'll take my hat off to him for 1, turning to 75, and 2, drinking the amount that he did and still stood up at the end of the night. I don't know how he did it, but yeah. Love you, Dad. So that's it.
Fab. Right, well, we'll take it out if no one else has got anything else. I didn't realise we've been on for that long. Bloody hell.
Yeah, fuck me.
Yeah, okay. Right, so as always, you can find us on iTunes and Podbean. Just search Entertainerds. We're on Twitter, Instagram, at Entertainerds. We're also on Twitch, and you can find us at www.twitch.tv/entertainerdpodcast. You can find the good old Nat. See how he's doing with his post-vegan fallout. Natras. What'd you say, Antonio?
I just said I miss him.
Yeah, I do as well. We all miss Nat. He's a good man.
Hopefully, if we get a certain film,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he wants to do it anymore, but still, I'd love to have him on once,
We'll
as like a throwback, because he's the one that got me on here, I think. So, yeah. Still miss you,
fathers. So if you want to talk to Nat on Twitter, find him at Natras79. You can find Kyle at AdamsKD86. Pete is at the legit Chinny, the only Chinny, the real Chinny. Katie can be found at Katie with 3 E's 120, and Katie can also be found on Twitch using the same handle. I can be found at Stratham, at Stratham even on Twitter, and at Stratham on Twitch. Also, go and listen to a band of gamers. It's pretty good. And finally, Antonio can be found at Heavy Evil on Twitter and can be found on the YouTubes at GHAMVS. Also, you can find him on yet another podcast, or Yap, as you may have heard during this episode, which is great. And you can find him on Twitch as well as iTunes and Podbean.
Listen again about movies.
Yeah, man, it is good stuff. I'm looking forward to tuning into that on a regular basis. You can find us on email, entertainerdspod@gmail.com. And if you want to send us a speak pipe, then you can do so at speakpipe.com/entertainers. But for now, it's goodbye from Antonio.
My fifth and final fear is my future wife.
Damn, good
Whoa.
choice. And it's goodbye from Pete.
See you later.
And goodbye from me.